and welcome back to Next Stitch Designs with me, Sylvia. In today's video, I am going to show you how to crochet these really easy slippers. I will make them really nice and cozy. So for today's slippers, I'll be using the Simply Chunky paint box yarn, which I really like for the slippers. Also, I'll be using a 5mm hook. And I'm gonna go for this dark gray and the light gray. I just wanted to show you the label I'm using. But of course you can use any yarn you like, and also the recommended hook size. Also you will need some scissors, a yarn needle, and the measuring tape. Okay, so for today's slippers, all you need, we are going to create rectangle like so, and we will be using this moss stitch, which I really like. It's really nice and it's got lovely texture. So let's get started and I show you how to prepare these rectangles. As you can see on these photos, I wanted to show you what are we going to create. So our rectangle is going to be 1 centimeter bigger in the front and 1 centimeter bigger at the back, where is our heel, and then we should be able to close our rectangle from the side so it covers the front of your ankle like seen on these pictures. So let's create our rectangle. As seen on these pictures, you need to be able to wrap it around your foot, where is the front of your ankle. And do not stretch your chain, just make sure it sits nice and comfy. To start our rectangle piece for our slippers, we are going to start with a slip knot. Hold your yarn and like so, wrap it around your 2 fingers and create a cross. Go under this first one on top of the second one, pull it down and twist your hook and release. And this is your slip knot. Okay, so for our rectangle, we are going to chain the chain as long as you need to be able to close it or wrap it around our foot. Just start our chain. So once you got your slip knot, we are going to yarn over and pull through. And for this moss stitch, we are going to chain any multiple of 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so on, but must be multiple of 2. So carry on until you can wrap it around your foot. Okay, so for my feet, I chained 28, so multiple of 2. And now what you need to do and try on, you are going to wrap it around your foot and be able to close it nice and comfortably like this. So I have chained 28. I'm going to show you the moss stitch or the crunch stitch, and to do so we are going to start into the second stitch from your hook, and we are going to create a slip stitch. To do a slip stitch, insert your hook into the second stitch, yarn over, pull through and pull through the loop you have on your hook. The next one will be half double, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over again. You will get 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And again, the next one will be slip stitch. And that's what you are going to do all the way across until you come to your last stitch. And you started with the slip stitch, so your last stitch is going to be slip stitch as well. So this was my half double crochet. Next one will be slip stitch. Insert and pull through like so. To the next one, half double, 3 loops, yarn over and pull through. And that's what you are going to do. So I am at the end of my row and I have 2 more stitches. So I'm going to do half double crochet into this one here, half double, and my last one will be slip stitch, because I started with slip stitch in this row, so I am going to end up with slip stitch. Now we are going to chain 2, 1, 2, and turn our work like so. So in my first row I started with slip stitch, and then I created a half double crochet. But in this round you are going to start with the half double and then slip stitch. So we are going to alternate. Okay, so it will be like this in every round. So in my first round, slip stitch, half double, slip stitch, half double. In my second round, half double, slip stitch, half double, slip stitch, and again in third round will be slip stitch, half double. And that's what we are going to do for the rest of our rectangle. Okay, so now I'm going to do half double, yarn over and into this stitch here, create half double, and then into the next one, slip stitch, and again yarn over, half double, and slip stitch, half double, and slip stitch. And that's what we are going to do for the rest of our row. Then we're gonna end up with half double, because we started with half double. Chain 2 and turn your work, and for the row 3 you will start with the slip stitch and end up with the slip stitch. Okay, once you are done you can fasten off, but remember you will have to leave a long yarn end, because we'll be sewing the front. Okay, so let's fasten off. So leave the yarn end quite long, I would say about 50 centimeters. Fasten off like so, and prepare your yarn needle to thread this yarn in. And of course, and this stitch is amazing because the both sides look the same, as you can see. This stitch is amazing for the scarves and the hats as well. I'll be making tutorials how to make the hats with this stitch, because I just really love this texture as well. So once you have your yarn ready, we are going to insert our needle inside and outside like this, and make sure you're gonna go between in these gaps like this, bring it in a little bit. And you can pull it as well. Not to worry, you can just go all the way and then pull it. You can just do it like this. Make sure you are nice close to the edge. It doesn't have to be very close because that's why we left 1 centimeter, slightly bigger. Okay, so we need to get to the other side like this. And now you can gather your slipper, as you can see, like this when you pull it. So I have one more here. And gather it like so. And that's what you should get. So it looks something like this. And we are going to close it into this very first stitch like so. And pull it so you will close this gap here as much as you can. And make a tiny stitch. You can do it twice in one place so it's nice and secured. And closed. As tight as you can. And if you feel like there is a tiny gap, it's okay. You can simply sew it in, as we will be turning these slippers inside out. If you want to close this gap completely, you can just sew it down like this. So there is no gap at all. And then once there is no gap at all and you're happy with this, you can just fasten off. And I like to fasten off with a knot like this. And leave a little bit longer. We are going to hide the inside. And now we are going to close our heel here. So we're gonna sew all the way down. And we are going to start here. So prepare your yarn and make a knot like this. These slippers are done in no time, and they make it the best present ever. I mean, everyone loves slippers. Okay, so go on one place twice or 3 times, because this is where we usually open the slippers, so it gets stretched a little bit, but not to worry. Can go even more than twice in one place, just to make sure it's nice. And not to worry, because we have 1 centimeter extra when we measured our slippers. And all we're going to do now, just gonna go and stitch it like this all the way down. Make sure you're catching both sides like so. and you can hide this yarn and while you go, so you don't have to do it later. So for this next part, you are going to turn your slippers inside out. Check the hair, it looks amazing. You won't even notice it's been sewn. This is the front. Now we are going to close this part here, but before we do so, we are going to try our slippers on. Okay, so once you have your slippers on, you are going to decide how deep do you want this opening to be. So maybe you want only little bit like this, or you want it all the way and you're gonna sew the rest. It's up to you. So you will be sewing these two edges together and you go as high as you prefer or as you like. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit higher this time because usually my slippers are very low, so for these slippers I'm gonna go a little bit higher. So if you have a stitch marker, it's really handy to place 2 stitch markers on the side. So I placed 2 stitch markers like so, and now we are going to turn our slipper inside out again and we are going to sew this part here. Okay, so let's just fold it nicely and we are ready to stitch it together. Don't forget to create a knot before you start, and you can go deeper here. And because I don't want this seam to bother me, I am gonna go from this side like so, and you can do 2 stitches in one place again as you start, as because if I would go this way it may be a little bit too thick, so I decided to go from this side and do stitching from this side like this, and then from the other side small stitches, and then this side, and when you put your slippers on and you think they are too loose or too big, simply just take it in even more from your heel. Okay, so carry on stitching like this. And when you fold them in half, and you stop when you think you reached the gap you want it, and of course make 2-3 oops, I'm gonna take these stitch markers out as I don't need them anymore, and make sure again you do 2-3 stitches in one place when you're putting them on and off. So 2-3 stitches should be just fine. Okay, let's just fasten off. And I want to go through this stitch like this and make a knot like so. And of course we can hide these ends inside. Now we are going to turn the slippers inside out, and they look amazing. I love them, they're so cool. really very quick. And now I am going to simply go around with a different color so they look a little bit more interesting, and I decided to go with this light gray. I'm going to add this gray color around, so I'm gonna create a little border around. So simply, if you want to, you can do it. If not, and you're happy with slippers just like this, you can just leave it. But if you want to carry on and make them a little bit more interesting, then just follow the next step. So create a slip knot. And take it off and insert it somewhere in the middle. Raise your heel like so and pull through this yarn and inside, so it's not in the way. Oops, it is in the way. And then bring it through the loop. And now, as you can see, this could be a little bit tricky, but not to worry. So I have decided to go again with the crab stitch because I really like the crab stitch around the edge, and it's basically single crochet reversed. So I chained one, and I'm going to find the next gap, as we don't have these proper stitches here, so just go in the next gap, yarn over, and bring it up, so get these two loops on your hook, yarn over again and pull through. Okay, and try to space it nicely. Okay, so I found my next gap here, yarn over, bring it up, two loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through into the next one, and try to space it nicely, as nice as you can. Okay, into the next one here, and pull through, because as you can see there is I'm gonna go into the next one here, one more thing before I finish the slippers. Once you come to the front here, you can simply just skip it and go into the next one, because it may be quite tricky to get through that seam with this stitch. Okay, so I just wanted to say not to worry about it too much. It's going to look amazing anyway. So I have my last stitch here, so let's just do a last one in the middle of the heel. And once you come to the end, you turn your slipper and simply just slip stitch into this very first stitch like so, and fasten off. Fasten off, and of course hide all your ends. Even though they are inside, they can be quite annoying, so just simply hide them with your yarn needle. And these are our slippers. Really cool and super fast. I think they look amazing. What do you think? Just press them a little bit in the middle, push it out. And if you think they're a little bit big, then just take in the heel before you do this border, or at the start. If you like your slippers more tighter on your feet, you don't need to add 1 centimeter in the front and 1 centimeter at the back, because the yarn will stretch. So it's up to you really what you like, because some people like the slippers more loose and some people like them more tighter. So it's up to you. If you like them tighter, do not add 1 centimeter in the front and 1 centimeter at the back. Simply just create a rectangle, and once you step on it, you should be able just close it from the side, and your foot should be able to fit that rectangle. So if you like this video, please don't forget to like my video, share my video, and of course don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Unique Stitch Designs. Thank you very much for watching.